Hey guys, I wanted to do a little bit of a video about this book that I've been reading, Growing Up Native American, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the book. Well, this is a book edited by Patricia Riley, and I had to read this book for a presentation for my sociology class, and honestly, I really did like this book. It's not just a book about one certain character, it's about different Native Americans who have written about their life and the way that they had grown up as Native Americans. And like in the first story, it talks about Simon Ortiz, he was a Native American poet, and it talks about all his hardships and, the things and the stereotypes that he had to go through growing up, and it talks about his family moving, and sorry, I read the whole book, I just can't remember some of the names. He was from the Acoma Pueblo tribe in New Mexico, and his family had moved to Arizona in the 1950s, and he had to end up going to school with children that were not Native American, and he said that it was quite the experience to have to go to school with somebody like that was so different than themselves. One of my favorite short stories in the book is The Warriors by Anna Lee Walters. It was a story about two little Native American girls who were part of, they were Pawnee Native Americans. Their father was not, but their mother was, and her brother would come to visit them, and they would sit and watch the hobos go by in their neighborhood. Now, they were modern, they didn't live in a reservation and all this stuff. They just, they lived in this community where, everybody was different. And they would have black and white and, Native American hobos, and they rarely ever seen a lot of Native Americans. But their uncle would come, and he would tell them stories about life as a warrior, as a Pawnee warrior, and it was just very interesting that this man had lived his whole life, believing that he always, Uncle Ralph, I had to find the name, I knew who he was, but, he said, you live for beauty and you die for beauty. And I thought that was a great thing to, keep in mind, because those Native Americans had it rough. They had it hard. I mean, there were stereotypes everywhere, and you were judged for everything, especially the color of your skin. And it was kind of sad because in this world, we tend to look over the fact that the Native Americans were here before we were, before the British came. And, our ancestors may be Native Americans. We don't know. And we tend to look over that race. We tend to forget that they were here first. And it's like nobody in this country is a native except for the Indians. But as the story goes on, it talks about how this man, he had struggled and struggled being a Pawnee warrior, and then he started drinking and his life ended. But he never forgot where he came from, and he died for beauty. And these girls, they just remembered that. And then, as you go throughout the book, they have different stories, like Water Lily, which is a pretty good story. Oh, I also read